Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna kind of overexpose this little POA. You see how it's standing behind me, kind of looking at me part-time? But if you touch it from the jaws, it overreacts and freaks out. And I can't prove to it that what I'm doing has value if it keeps reacting instead of responding. So I'm going to go outside the box a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this horse on this side of trouble. I am not trying to freeze this horse up. I am not trying to shut this horse down. Whenever it acts nice, I'm going to quit. But I got to do something to get this horse to start accepting its reality. It is what it is, in order for this horse to have a quality of life. If I just ignore this kind of behavior, I'm going to have to get rougher and rougher and rougher to get her to look at me. Her skin is so dry that if you get pulled on too much, it just bleeds. Now the Vetericyn is helping, but I can't touch it everywhere I want to touch it with the Vetericyn. I can't even give it Banamine for pain because it won't let me touch its mouth. It freaks out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and be a little bit wild, but I'm going to stay on this side of trouble. And I'm not going to wait for her to shut down to stop. As soon as I see a tiny bit of a try, mentally, physically, and emotionally, I'm going to stop for a minute and let her absorb it. This is not come in here and act like Roy Rogers and just beat on her until she loses the will to live. I don't want that. I want her to choose to let me in. And this is just another way that you can do that with the horses that are... I've used this on horses before that were predators. She's not a predator. She's just terrified. And she will defend herself if she feels like she's trapped in a corner. I'm just going to do this. And I don't want any movement. I want her to accept it. I would like for her to look at me. See, we've got some stuff done. I'm just going to get a little bigger. And once again, I want to stay on this side of trouble. And I want to stay safe in here too. Took a step forward. That's the response you would want out of a horse that knew a lot, is if I wanted her to step out of this corner, I would flop this flag, she would step out of the corner, the flag would quit. I just didn't chase her around the rest of the pen. This stuff's only evil if you don't have an idea in the world what you're trying to get accomplished. I'm trying to save this horse's life. I can't save this horse's life if it won't allow me in so that I can prove to it that I can be trusted and I can provide this horse with comfort. Because that's all this horse wants to do is live. There's some medications I would like to give it that I can't give it unless it accepts me. Now I'm going to take this up a notch. When you pet a horse, especially a green one that hasn't been touched very much, you want to touch them and leave your hand on them. Make this bigger until you're everywhere. Every time you touch them, break contact and touch them somewhere else, you've in essence turned them loose and caught them again. Well, if catching them was problematic, this is not what you want to do. This is what you want to do. Maintain contact. This string is going to do exactly what I said you don't want to do. It's going to go from nothing to contact to nothing and contact, and we're just going to get her over being worried, if you will, but not frozen and not shut down. I want her to accept it. Sometimes they just have to accept. Remember, we're trying to save this horse's life. And this is not the same thing that you would do with a blank slate. This horse has no practice interacting with humans. I'm going to keep interacting with it until interacting with humans is no big deal to her. Then we can get some physical stuff done as far as medication, mental, working with the mind. So here we go. And I'll just pull that away. This is exposing that right eye to movement. She hides that right eye from me all the time. And if I put a lead rope on there and try to bend her around, it causes the dried skin on her face to peel just a little, and I don't want to turn her face into a big bloody scab. So I got a couple of strikes against me. I got some things that I would normally do that I can't do. So that just means a challenge is an opportunity to learn something new. Well, I'm going to learn something new right here. And so is she. I would like for her to look at me. Like that. That's close enough. Now I'll flip that up there again. Now I'm exposing that right eye to movement. There. Now remember, I'm not trying to chase her around in here and make her move. I'm trying to get her to accept this. When that lands on her and she doesn't twitch, I'll take it away and give her a break. I'm watching for that. I'm watching her body tighten up. If you're not seeing it, well, I am. I'm going to throw that across there. Nothing. Take it away. I'll rope that foot. Nothing. Take it away. I would like for her to be exposed to something over on the other side of her head. And I would like to get in and get out before she goes crazy. There. So part of the time I'll leave it there till she looks. Part of the time I'll just flip it up there, zero reaction, and flip it up there again. What I'm trying to accomplish here is me being in this pen with her is old hat. Just part of the day. backing up. That's something that I learned a long time ago. If you're working with a horse in a little bitty pen and they're running around that pen backwards, they're not getting any better. They just found out how to avoid the whole deal. There's a forward step. I'll leave her alone and let her soak for a second. There, she's looking at me straight on. This is outstanding. And chewing. This is the first time that she's presented that eye to me, and not just because she was turning to run away. Backing up again, so I'll just get to rubbing here. Let her go. That backing up is undesirable, so I just escalate. She's walking forward, I get softer, or I quit. Now this is the first time when I've worked with her, where movement over on that right eye hasn't caused her to freak out. I've had the flag over there, but I brought it from the hip all the way up. This is going from 0 to nothing to 1. Backing up, so I'll get a little bit more aggressive about rubbing this. I'm not punishing her. It's just if she wants to stand here, that'll be a little bit bigger. If she wants to stand over there, she escaped it. She needs a name, folks. Now she's backing up, so I'm just going to spin this rope a little more over here. I want her to move forward. There, leave her alone. She needs a name. Easiest way to get your idea in the suggestion box would be just to comment on this video a name. And I call her Conejo. I say this in every video. That's Mexican word for rabbit, because she jumps a little bit, but it's getting better. Really trying to work on this getting up by that eye. And this is working out pretty good. There. When that butt goes forward, I'll give her a break every single time. Nothing I'm doing is telling her that backing up is an option or backing up is what I want. If I come up here and she backs up, I'm just going to do this bigger. I'm not going to hit her. I'm not going to punish her. I'm just going to irritate her. But every time she walks forward a step, she's going to file away. Hey, all I got to do is walk forward and this is gone. I want her to figure it out on her own. We'll leave it sit there for a minute. Maybe I'll pet her right here. Maybe I'll pet her right here. She backed up, so I'll go back to doing this around her butt again. I need for her to step forward.